Yeah.
Okay.
Do I click got it?
Yep, you click got it. Thank you.
Okay.
Oh, we lost. Sebastian did not click got it. He must have clicked leave the meeting.
Oh no.
Yep.
But I got
All right.
googly eyes.
Yes, googly eyes. All right. So let me bring up my share screen, and I'm going to pull up my participant window in case Sebastian decides to rejoin us. And we're going to begin our parrot. So I'm going to recap for Nathan. Nathan, we have 3 sheets of construction paper at the ready to make our parrot. And we're beginning with the construction paper that is going to become our parrot's body. And we're going to use a different color for the head. So, all right, so we're ready to begin, Allison. We want to take our cardboard tube and we're going to wrap it in paper just like we did with our binoculars. So we're going to start at the bottom.
I did it this time.
Good job. Very nice. Yep, and you're just going to tuck and roll all the way and hold the seam shut. And then Allison, I don't know, you probably want to trim a little bit because there's a lot of extra paper on the ends. We probably want to trim a little bit of that off just so we're not trying to have to shove so much paper down inside of there because that's a lot of paper. And then once you're done trimming, you know what to do. We want to tuck it down inside and we want to flatten it with our thumb. Flatten, 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 flatten it real good. Here comes Sebastian. Hi, bud.
Hi again.
Yeah, what's up?
Sorry I tapped out. Like I thought I clicked got it, but I accidentally clicked leave meeting.
That's what I thought. I thought you did. Welcome back. I'm glad you were able to get back in. Okay, so what we did, go ahead and get out your cardboard tube. Allison, I'm so proud of you. Great job. Get out your cardboard tube and let me walk you through this again. Allison, I'm sorry, give us just a minute. I'm gonna explain to Sebastian how to do this. Go ahead and get out put your whatever color you want your parrot body to be, put that piece of construction paper down in front of you, Sebastian. I'm gonna grab another cardboard tube and another sheet of paper so I can show you how to do this. So you want your paper in front of you, Sebastian, so that it is tall. Sebastian, where are you, honey?
I'm right here. I'm getting my construction paper.
Okay, you want your paper in front of you so that it is tall in portrait orientation. Okay, Allison has already done this step, so I need you to pay attention, okay? We're gonna take our cardboard tube and we're gonna put it at the bottom edge of our paper so that it is centered from left to right, okay? And then we're gonna lift the edge of our paper and we're gonna roll the tube up inside of the paper, construction paper. And when you're rolling, you wanna make sure that it stays snug against the tube. Okay, and you also want to make sure that it's staying even on the sides from side to side. And then hold it shut by keeping your finger pressed across the seam. You do this on the tabletop. So if you would please do that. Sebastian, we're waiting on you. Put your paper on the table and put your cardboard tube at the end of the paper. And then lift the edge of your paper and roll your tube inside. When you get to the end though, be sure that you hold that paper shut.
Are you moving? Where's the teacher? What are you doing?
I'm waiting.
Uh-uh.
I'm waiting.
Allison is waiting. We're waiting for Sebastian to get caught up. So she's having to wait. Yeah.
Done.
You're not done. I saw the tube fall right out of your paper. The tube needs to be held securely inside of here. So it needs to be wrapped tight around your tube. Tight. Okay. If the tube can fall out, then it's not wrapped tight enough. Okay. It needs to be wrapped around nice and tight. Okay, and then when you're done, you're going to trim a little bit of paper using your scissors off of each end like this. Trim a little bit of paper off of there. And then what you're going to do while you're still holding it shut is you're going to tuck the ends of your paper into your cardboard tube. Okay, Sebastian? Tuck the ends inside like this. All right, so the next step is to use the second sheet of paper that we want. And what we're going to do, Allison, is we're going to create a head for our parrot. Now, I'm just going to show you what I mean first. So we're going to wrap a second, yeah, thanks, baby. We're going to wrap another piece of paper that doesn't go all the way around the tube. It's just going to go around the top. So we're going to need to cut a strip of paper. So whatever color you want your parrot's head to be, like for example, I want my parrot's head to be green.
Oh, I already did that.
Well, I want my parrot's head to be green. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a piece of this green paper that only makes like enough space for the head. So like right here. And if you have your ruler, you can draw a straight edge on your paper to cut your strip like this. Sebastian, that looks really good. And you're going to cut a nice long strip of paper for whatever color you want your parrot's head to be. A nice long strip. So I'm cutting along the long edge of my second sheet of paper. Now for this, we are going to need our glue and our glue paintbrush for this next step. We are going to need that. Sebastian, you need to cut a long strip of paper for your parrot's head. Long strip of paper. This is going to become the parrot's head, the color for his head. Okay, now before we move forward with that, I'm going to put some glue in here and I'm going to glue together this seam on my cardboard tube. So I'm just putting some glue right inside of there and I'm going to hold it shut for the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. Good job, Allison. Did you glue yours shut, Sebastian? Got it glued shut?
Mama,
Okay.
Where is the glue?
I'm almost done. I just have 3 more.
And then we're going to take the strip of paper that we want to be our parrot's head, and we're going to glue it right here to the back where the seam is. So I'm going to put a little stripe of glue here on the short edge of the paper strip. A little strip of glue there on the short edge. And then I'm going to glue this short edge right here to the back of my parrot, because I want my seams in the back. And I'm going to hold it on there for the count of 5.
Emily, don't bump.
And then we're going to roll it around so it grabs all the way around. And when we get to the other end, we can trim.
I did it.
Good job. So I'm going to trim mine a little bit right here. And then I'm going to put some glue on here and glue it down.
Ma, can you give me my water?
And then I'm going to hold it for the count of 5. How are you doing, Sebastian? I can't tell. I feel like you haven't done this part yet. Oh, you're working on it. Good job, bud. Good job. All right, looking good, Allison. You guys are doing a great job with this. Keep up the good work.
Oh, I need my glue.
All right. So our seams are in the back. We've got one color for the body and another color for the face. And we're gonna trace some shapes now. I forgot that we've also got, I don't have it in my kit, but don't you guys also have a curved shape like this? It's like an oval. Do you guys have that? It's a tracer that looks like a curved oval.
I hit chat by accident.
It's just super glue.
I'm just going to make one real quick because I don't hear anybody confirming or not confirming, but I think you guys have in your kits, you should also have a shape that looks like this. You guys have that?
Yeah. Oh, I already did it.
Oh, you've already traced it onto a piece of paper?
Yeah, I just need to trim it.
Excellent. Okay, so I'm going to trace mine. So we have 3 shapes. This is going to become your parrot's belly. So whatever color you want the belly to be, you're going to trace and cut it there. This triangle becomes your parrot's beak. So you're going to need a color for that. And then this, of course, is your parrot's feet. All right. So I'm going to use yellow for the beak and
I
the
just
feet.
used yellow.
Oh, beautiful. Well, it's up to you. I mean, you get to decide what color all your parrot's body parts are. So you have 1 tracer for the foot, but you need 2 feet. So be sure and give your parrot 2 feet.
Okay. Where's the...
Okay. And then I'm going to do the beak yellow also. But I think I'm going to probably do this light green color for my parrot's tummy. So I'm going to keep the body. I'm going to keep my parrot's body these 2 colors. So I'm going to do green for his tummy, green for his head, red for his body, and then yellow. But that's up to you, whatever colors you guys want to do. So I've got that. And that and that. And then remember, I was telling you how it's just easier to cut all of your little shapes apart from each other before you try to cut them out. That way you're not dealing with the big sheet of paper getting all in your way. Sebastian, how are you doing? Are you struggling with something that I can help you with?
It's just that it's not fully, the thing is not fully closing the,
That's
here.
Is there still a cardboard tube inside of there somewhere?
Yeah,
Well, remember when I said you needed to wrap it tight?
it is tight.
It is not tight. It is not tight. And I can tell just by looking at it, honey. So that probably, you want to probably do that part first, because isn't that what you're struggling with? It's not really staying on.
No, I mean the glue.
Okay, well, go ahead and move past that and cut a strip, glue on the colored paper that you want for your parrot's head.
Okay.
And get that part done.
This looks so cute. Look at this.
That's adorable. Very cute.
Or what I need to do is the feet, which I don't know where it goes actually.
Now, Allison, the feet, you want to glue them inside of the tube like this. So you'll put a little glue on the end and then they go inside like that.
Okay.
That way they look like they're hanging out from the bottom rather than overlapping your tube. And also you've gotten way ahead, and Sebastian is still working on getting the color wrapped on his head. So we're going to be pausing here again while he gets caught up. Okay. I love your enthusiasm. You're doing a great job.
Ooh.
So Sebastian, once you glue that strip of color on for your parrot's head, you're going to want to cut your 3 shapes. Have you done this yet?
No.
Okay, I need you to shake a leg and get those 3 shapes cut out.
I need to go to the bathroom, so I'm going to take a little break.
Okay, honey, that sounds good.
About the alligator, I'm so confused about the alligator.
Well, we're not working on that right now. We're working on our parrot, and we'll come back to the alligator and make sense of it. But I really need you to focus on getting your parrot caught up so that you don't get left behind or confused or end up with an unfinished project, baby. So try to focus on what we're doing. Okay, I don't know where the other, I don't know where Sebastian went. I know Allison is taking a quick break. So Nathan, I didn't hit record at the beginning of camp. I will go over the watercolor painting drawing with you at the end. But we also painted our clothespin, our crocodile. So we started, before we did the parrot, we started by painting our clothespin in our crocodile kit. And that's drying right now while we're still working on this. Okay. All right, so Allison is back. Where did you go, Sebastian? Why did you get up and walk away, honey?
I was washing my hands.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
didn't know. I know Allison is taking a break because she's waiting for you to get caught up. So if you could please cut out these 3 shapes on another sheet of paper, because we're going to be gluing those onto our parrot. And Allison has already done that. So I'm going to go ahead. I've already cut my shapes. And then if you would please trace yours and cut yours out, we're going to glue these on here. So this is the tummy shape. And obviously I want it on the opposite side. So I've got my seams on the back. So I want the tummy on the front, on the clean side of my parrot, like this. And of course I'm holding it in place so that it stays on there. And then my parrot's beak goes up above inside of the head shape. So I'm remembering to put my glue on the dirty side, the messy side with the pencil lines. And this beak comes up here in the parrot's head. And then the feet, well, the feet have pencil lines on that. That's going to go on the back. And this time the glue goes on the clean side right at the top, right at the top. And these tuck just underneath inside of the tube, underneath the tummy. Are you okay, Allison? So Allison, have you gotten your feathers glued on yet? I can't hear you if you're talking to me because you're muted, but let's go ahead and glue our feathers on next.
Okay.
Okay, so once we've got those little legs glued in there, we're gonna do the feathers. So the two, I gave you two green ones. These are gonna go on the side to be the wings on the side of your parrot. Now, mine are too long, so I'm gonna trim my feathers because my green feathers are too long for that.
They're all sticking on me.
And if your feather is too long, you can make it shorter also just by trimming it with your scissors. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to trim my feathers a little bit. I think I gave you guys some good sized green ones, but you can decide for yourself if they're too long or not. And we're going to glue one of these on each side of the body. Now, not up here on the side of the face, down here on the side of the body. Okay.
Are those real?
Yeah, they're real feathers.
What? Is it from a colorful bird or something?
Well, they clean and dye feathers, meaning that they dye means to color with fabric dye or whatever kind of dye. Dye is like pigment. And so I'm just going to paint a stripe of glue here on the side, and then I'm going to press my feather into the glue. It won't, you don't even have to hold these in place. Like they're going to lay right down in that glue, no problem. And we'll do that on each side, on the sides of the body.
This is crap that I like.
And now your parrot has some wings. I don't know if you guys glued your googly eyes on yet, but put your glue on the back. I know you put your glue on the back of the eye, and then we want them right up here beside the beak.
Oh, that is looking goofy.
Looking goofy?
Yeah, that's goofy.
If you didn't want googly eyes, you could always cut construction paper and make the eyes out of construction paper if you didn't want the googly eyes.
I'm putting googly eyes still.
Yeah. Okay, now we have 3 red feathers, and these are going to go just inside of the tube right at the top. You might not even need 3, like 1 might be enough, but that's up to you. You get to decide. Oh, I bumped mine. So this time the glue, okay, I'm gonna need a new cord. This time the glue goes inside of the top of the tube. Let me see if my camera will stay on long enough for me to show you. So in between the eyes, we're gonna go right inside here. And on top of all of your paper that you shoved down in there, You're just going to put some glue in there. And you already know that these feathers stick very easily to glue. So put glue down in there. And put your feather right on top of that glue and press it into place. And you can do more than one feather, of course. I gave you 3. So you could layer them so that this front part is very full, or you could go around the inside of that circle, however you want to do that.
Yeah. Now it's making sense.
Oh, good, good, good.
I'm not going to put the third one on because it keeps sticking to me. Like, it's literally glued onto me.
What row?
It's sticking to you too. This is what I got.
Woohoo la la. Oh my goodness. Allison, I love it. How did you get your feathers to stick out on the sides? That looks beautiful.
Thanks.
Yeah, share it with me again. I want to see.
Okay.
Oh, that looks great. Oh, so you glued them in the back like this, right? So they stick out on the side. That is clever. Clever, clever, clever. I love it. I love that.
Yep. I wanted to show Daddy.
Great job, you guys.
Mommy,
So that's an option. I love what Allison did. Instead of sticking them feathers straight down on the side, she glued them to the back so that they stick out on the left and the right side. So it looks great.
I'm gonna do like an eagle or something.
That sounds wonderful.
Cause like a little bit more up.
Yeah, I love that idea. Do it, make it your own, do your own thing. Sounds good. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I think adding feathers to our bird projects is always really fun. And then you can keep your little tracers. I mean, because this way, if you ever want to make another parrot, you'll have those. So I have, from all the years I have of teaching art, I have so many tracers. I have so many different little tracers of all kinds of things. You can't even imagine how many different things I have. Those fun shapes are really fun to hang on to. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to get back to our crocodiles. Because all we've done so far with the crocodile is we have painted the clothespin green. Oh no, wait, we also traced, we did this too. We already traced these ridges onto a sheet of green paper. So we've done 2 things. We traced this shape onto some green paper. And so we don't need the shape anymore. We've already done that.
There you go.
And this project is fairly simple. There's not a whole lot to it. What we want to do is we want to glue these cutout triangles on top of our clothespin. But we can't glue this very narrow edge like this. So we're going to fold it. We're going to fold a little flap down like this. And now we have a wide edge for glue. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to put some glue right here on this wide edge. And then we're going to press this onto the top.
I can't wait to water paint.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. So this goes on the back, like the end of your clip. You don't want to put it down here on the opening. So it should sit behind these metal pieces. It should sit back here. And then just hold that in place for the count of 5. And I don't know about yours. Mine got a little messy with the glue, so I'm going to need to wipe my fingers off.
Look. I did it. Doesn't look like yours, but I did it.
Good job. Oh, I love it.
I I'm gonna eat you. I'm a dinosaur.
And so now it'll open and close like this, but we need to add the eyes.
What, mommy? What, mommy?
We're going to glue on our
What
googly
is
eyes.
it?
Now, the intention is that the googly eyes go on the top back here like this. And I think I may have given you big googly eyes. They're not quite going to fit on there. So
No, you can rest the little eyes.
I gave you little ones. Okay, so I'm going to put the glue, instead of putting them on the googly eyes, I'm going to put the glue on the back of the head.
Peppers.
And then I'm going to sit them right on there. Now mine don't entirely fit, so I'm having to split the difference. Half of the googly eye goes on there. The other half kind of hangs off the edge. But when I let that dry, it'll be just fine. Chomp, chomp, chomp. Now you could also take some white construction paper and you could glue little teeth on here. Now, if you do that, keep in mind that you wouldn't be able to probably put them on top and bottom. That might get complicated. And then you'd also have to be mindful that they didn't get pinched in between there. But that is an option of an extension of this project if you wanted to add some teeth along the edge. But that is pretty much it for this baby. And then this would make a really fun bookmark. Like if you wanted to mark your page, you could chomp it. Or maybe you could clip a note to something. So we're going to set this guy aside.
Get off me, glue.
You need to go wash your hands. Feel free. I don't want you to be uncomfortable.
But this Alice's class over.
All right, we're going to begin watercolor painting in just a few minutes, but I want you guys to take the time to clean up, get all of your... Good. Oh, Allison, great job. Great job.
I'm still on my parrot.
Okay. Well, you might have to come. You might have to come back to your crocodile later, or come back to your watercolor painting later, whichever one you want to finish up after camp is up to you. But take a minute and kind of clean up your space. You want to make sure there's no wet paint, no glue, nothing messy in front of you. And then this message is for Nathan. Nathan, I would suggest, Nathan, that you zip to the end of this video and let me talk you through the drawing and then come back to the watercolor painting instruction. Okay, because I forgot to walk you through this drawing. All right, so we already know what we're doing when it comes to watercolor paint. We know that we need our tray of paint pigments, and we know that we need a mixing tray for our paint colors. And we know that we need some water in order to make our paint in our tray. And then it's helpful to have your two brushes in case you need a big one for wetting large areas, and then your small one for your applying your paint color. So you should have your water either in a cup or in a bowl, and your paint rag or your paper towel. Which I need to grab mine off the counter. Excuse me, just one moment.
Okay. I said the more water you put on, the more white it will get. So I'm not gonna put on a lot, but I'm just gonna put on. What is this?
I only want to do my jaguar.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, you don't have to paint. You don't have to paint the whole picture. You can select parts that you want to be colorful, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The jaguar is kind of the main part. So
Yeah. I'm probably gonna do my waterfall first because to me that's That's a very exciting part of the painting. So before I begin painting my waterfall, I have to make my blue paint. So I'm not dipping and painting directly from this tray. That will give me colors that are inconsistent. So I need to make my paint first. So I'm going to add some water to my tray, and then I'm going to stir in some blue pigment. Because if I'm painting directly from my tray, then I'm going to get a lot of scritchety scratches in my painting. The paint colors are going to be uneven.
I just finished my Jaguar and it took like until you were back.
You got your Jaguar
Not so
finished
long.
already?
Yes, and not so long. I'm almost done with my Jaguar. Now I'm gonna start with my trees. The beautiful trees.
Sebastian, your parrot is looking really good. Good job, bud.
Oh, my dog is crying. I hate it when that happens because I feel so bad.
Oh, it makes you feel sad?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
He's right at the door. He's right next to me, legit.
So I'm making my blue. I'm going to stir in 2 bits of blue. So Allison, are you making your paint colors, or are you painting right out of your tray?
I'm painting right
Yes,
on
Mom.
my.
I can't get my I
But
can't
that would be good. Mommy, where's the thing? I thought it was.
I'm sorry, what'd you say, Sebastian?
I can't get my feathers on the parrot.
Well, they stick right on there. Paint the glue on your parrot.
Oh.
Did you put the glue on the feather?
Yeah.
Yeah, put the glue right on the side of your parrot. It'll cling right to your parrot.
Okay, let me see. Ah, one of my foot fell off. She's right there. Estaba llorando.
Now in my waterfall, because I've got these different streaks, these different sections of water, I'm going to make them different values of blue. So I've got my light blue on the top and the bottom, but in the middle, I want a darker blue. So this time I'm going to pick up a little bit of pigment right out of my tray so I can make this middle section a bit darker.
Ah.
That way I'm staying within the shapes that I made with my lines.
I don't have a lot of space for all this on my table.
Mommy, for my birthday, can I get a water set? Because I know we get to keep this, but I want like some more paper that I can use to make more things.
Allison, I'm so happy to hear that you're enjoying your watercolor painting. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Keep it up. And then Sebastian, if you're feeling crowded on your table, maybe you can move some things to a different spot, like clean up your section after each project. That's what I do. So I have to get up and move things because I have a very small table as well.
I have one big table.
That's awesome.
But I need to move things too.
Yeah, so that's pretty common to need to move things around when you've got all of these different projects kind of happening at the same time. You're probably going to need to clear some space.
I'm finally done with my waterfall.
Oh, right. That's exciting.
I only got one feather on.
Remember, put the glue on the parrot, not on the feather, or otherwise it'll get real
I
sticky.
did, and it was still really hard. Even though I didn't, it was still really hard.
Oh, you did your parrot. You did your feathers a little differently than me. That might be why. Because you did them sticking out to the sides. You okay?
No, my feather keeps sticking on my brush.
I know. That happens to me sometimes. I really hate it.
That's a funny problem to have, right?
Mm-hmm. Luckily, that doesn't happen ever again.
All right, and then I'm making the water a little darker right here at the crash site where the water kind of hits the river. I'm making it a little darker right here too.
I need the feathers on its head.
Yeah, that's the last step, right? Do you have
Yeah.
the googly eyes on there already?
Yeah.
Good job. All right, so I hear that this jaguar needs to get painted because it's kind of an important part of this picture. So I'm going to do my jaguar color next. I'm going to mix it up in my tray. I'm going to make my orange color right in here. I'm going to make some orange and yellow. I'm going to make my jaguar orange and yellow. But you know.
I'm gonna add more green than on the water. Because I want that dark green too.
Yeah, remember we were talking the other day about how we can make different greens for all of those different trees can be different greens. They don't have to be, yeah. So make as many different greens as you want to see in your picture. That'll look beautiful.
I always love coloring.
There we go. So I've got some yellow and I've got some orange for my jaguar. I'm going to paint her next.
Final feathers are gonna be really weird.
Well, you don't have to do all three. If if you're annoyed, just do the two. They look like what, honey?
Huh?
You said they look like we were both started talking at the same time.
Oh.
They look like what, honey?
They look like a mohawk.
Oh yeah, a little bit. I can see that.
I'm gonna make like a little sand isle.
Oh, like a sandbar in your river?
Yeah.
Neat.
Oh no. All this stuff is sticking on my hands.
Did you finish your crocodile, Sebastian, or no?
No. But I already have the little shape out though.
All right. And then I guess you'll do your watercolor painting later when you need something to do.
I watercolor paint pretty fast though.
Okay.
So I might get to do it.
Well, you can always do it, right? You don't have to do it right now. If you don't get it finished during camp, it'll give you something to do later, right?
True. But if I don't finish it, can I just save it as a drawing?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Whatever you want to do.
Because it already looks pretty good.
Oh, well, I don't doubt that. I know it looks good.
Parrot, why won't your feathers stick on you? It's your feathers.
I'm going to give my jaguar some brown spots. And for this, I am dipping right out of my tray because I want the brown spots to be a little darker in value. So I'm not even going to make up a brown. I'm just going to dip right out of my tray.
I'm done with my parrot.
Oh, let me see. Let me see how she turned out.
The foot fell off. I forgot.
Nice. Where are her eyes?
Right
Oh, there
here.
they are. There they are. Oh, she looks great. Good job. Very
Mommy, I want
nice.
to keep going in this class because this looks fun.
Yeah.
But you're saying it's wasting all of the afternoon.
No, I said
Yeah, just keep it as a dwelling.
wow.
Class at 6 to 7.
7 to 7:45.
Yeah.
Sebastian, that's okay if you want to keep it as a drawing, babe. You don't have to watercolor paint it. I know you probably want to make your crocodile.
Yeah, because I just don't wanna cause I have like other things to do later maybe. So,
Mm-hmm.
cause I gotta exercise today.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
I'm going to make a little teal this color.
I need to lose weight.
You do?
Yeah, I weigh a lot, like 88, like
Okay.
87, yeah.
Yeah. So you've got an exercise routine you get to do?
Yeah,
That sounds
it's
like
mostly
fun.
my cholesterol.
Oh, you have high cholesterol?
Yeah, I'm eating a lot of Cheerios, because Cheerios lower cholesterol.
That's true. They do. That's what it says on the package.
Yeah. Salad. My grandma's calling and saying salad and fruits.
Nice. Yeah. Hey,
I
your
do.
grandma's taking good care of you. That's wonderful.
Mhm.
She's fixing up your diet and getting you exercising. I love it.
I think the day before yesterday I was 86. I think it's because yesterday I ate Burger King with my dad yesterday.
Oh yeah.
I had an Impossible Whopper.
Oh, how is that? Is that good?
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice.
I'm gonna go wash my hands.
All right, babe. Come right back. Allison, what's your favorite food? Oh, you said blueberries is your favorite fruit.
Yeah. My favorite fast food, I think, is McDonald's.
McDonald's. Yeah, classic fast food right there.
It's also my favorite fast food.
It's his
Even
favorite
though
food.
it's late.
I think my favorite is Arby's.
I love the cinnamon.
They have the meats.
My grandparents bring me McDonald's every Sunday.
They do? Oh, that's so cool.
But no more.
She said she's going to bring
We
me
like
salad.
Chick-fil-A too.
First time, please.
Well, my son gained a lot of weight during quarantine. He gained a lot of weight. So we go for walks every evening. And I really watch what he ate so many chips.
What chips?
We don't buy chips anymore. No, just he likes salt and vinegar, dill pickle chips. He likes spicy chips.
I don't even know what vinegar is. I don't even know I don't drink vinegar.
He loves all those very intense flavors. But we go for walks in the evening and no more chips in the house.
Yeah, but my favorite food that's not from a restaurant is pizza.
Oh my gosh, pizza is so good. Pizza is so good.
The stuffed crust is so good.
I'm done.
Let me see. Wow, look at that. You have such a smooth technique. I'm going to exit out of my big screen. That looks gorgeous. Great job. I love that.
Of course you can.
So smooth and beautiful.
Oh, he's in here.
Isn't it over here?
Yep.
All right, and then Sebastian is not going to be painting, so I'll put my paint set away.
So I haven't shown you mine yet, did I? So, I don't think I did.
You're drawing?
Yeah, I didn't show the drawing.
Well, let's see it.
I don't think so, at least. I haven't done my crocodile yet. I was too busy with my hands and stuff.
That looks so good. Oh my goodness. Bring it closer and let me see your jaguar. Excellent.
I love Java.
Very, very
I-
nice.
Jones.
All right. So Sebastian is not going to be. Oh, look, my crocodile's eye fell off to the side. He's got one eye on the top and one eye on the side. Let me fix that. All right. So we have a few minutes left, and I planned for this. If we had some time left over, I thought we could draw a capybara. Do you know what those are?
Nope.
They're like the world's biggest rodent. Wow! But they're super, super cute. So we'll put these in our sketchbooks if you want to get out your sketchbook, your pencil, and your eraser. And just excuse me for just a minute. I need to grab a sheet of paper. I'll be right back. I've got to get a sheet of paper.
I think my crocodile clipper is dry. It was dry like long ago. How it's obviously dry.
I'm gonna put it with my tablet. Well,
So interesting story. Last year, my daughter fell in love with the capybara, and then she showed it to my son. My daughter's 17 and my son is 10. And then both of my kids are like, "Mommy, get us a capybara," because they can be pets, but like we live in downtown St. Cloud. We're not exactly zoned for a capybara. But I thought it was really funny, and I shared it on Facebook how my kids want me to get a capybara.
Spamrous. No, mommy, it's spamrous.
And as it happens, one of my friends on Facebook has a capybara, and not just one, she has two. And not just two, the capybaras had babies. So so she has like this whole family of capybaras. And she said as soon as COVID is under control, which we're getting there, she invited us over to come and meet her capybaras. One of them is named Gizmo, and I'm like, I cannot even believe this. How is it that I know somebody who owns this most amazing animal?
A spamrous just called my grandma.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ruh-roh. You know what? Before I share, I think it's important that you know. Oh, I can't do that while I'm recording. Okay. Doesn't let me minimize while recording. So I'm gonna try and show this to you on my phone so you can see what a capybara is before we try to draw one. Oh my goodness, they are so cute. Maybe you've seen these at the zoo before. I know they have them in the Melbourne Zoo. I don't know about the Sanford Zoo. Right? So this is what they look like. They love.
Oh yeah, we do know capybara.
Yes,
They don't look like rodents.
No, I know they don't, but they are. They are rodents, but they live near water, and so they hang out on the outskirts of the rainforests, which are jungles. Rainforests are jungles. Look at the babies. Oh my goodness. They're so cute. So that's
They look more of like mole type animals or something, like I don't know, like a weasel.
they kind of remind me of beavers a little bit.
Yeah.
But they also kind of remind me of hippopotamuses. I don't know why, but let's draw one. We have a few minutes left together. I think we can finish a capybara drawing. Give me a second. I gotta find my reference picture.
One time, a mole was dug a big hole in our front yard.
Oh, really? A mole did that?
Yeah, a mole. And my dad's like, we gotta cover that up.
Okay, so
And he actually did it really fast.
Well, that's good. Well, they're not very big animals, so I guess it probably couldn't make a huge hole. So go ahead.
He also said that moles are cute, except their hands are creepy.
Creepy hands. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree
they-
with that. Let's start with our capybara's head, and we're going to make an oval shape, but we're making it so that it's going diagonal on our paper like that. Okay. So our oval is not going straight up and down. It's not going side to side. And if it helps to draw a diagonal line and then wrap your oval around it, you can do that. And what I mean by that is sometimes when you're trying to draw a curved shape on a diagonal line, it can be tricky. So here's my little tip. You draw your diagonal line and then you do one curve on one side and then the other curve on the other side. And then boom, you've got your oval on a diagonal.
Totally forgot to glue my alligator's eyes. I'm gonna do that now.
Way back here on the back of the oval, we're going to draw our capybara's ear, and it's our capybara, and it's small. It's like a small little oval like shape like that, or almost like a teardrop shape without the point on the end. Okay. It's
Do you like? Oh, you. What were you gonna say?
Oh, no, that's it. I'm just talking about how to draw the capybara. Did you have something to add?
Yeah. No, I didn't have something to add. I was just asking you, like if you had like a favorite baseball team.
No, I don't. I saw the Astros play when I was in high school, but I don't really follow baseball.
I don't like the
My
Astros.
mom doesn't either.
I don't like the Astros.
No. Your mom doesn't follow baseball either, or she doesn't like the Astros? I'm not sure.
No, it's just that
She
my
doesn't follow.
we don't like the Astros.
baseball.
All right, we're going to add the other
You
ear
guys
up here right on
like
top.
football.
I'm sorry, Allison, what'd you say?
She likes football.
Football, yeah.
My parents don't like the Astros because they say that they cheat.
Oh, I don't know. I wouldn't know. I don't really follow sports at all. When I was younger, I was very much into watching football. And then for a while, I really enjoyed going to Solar Bears ice hockey games. Oh, I love that. That was fun. So
The Bears. Mommy
So-
hates.
right inside of the capybara's head here, we're going to add the eye right back here. It's kind of like it is on the diagonal from this ear right here. Or if this was a triangle, the tops of the ears. And then inside of here, we'll add another curved line for the colorful part of the eye.
I like the Yankees, the Mets, and the Nationals.
Ah. And then down here in this curved oval part, we're going to kind of straighten this line up. Rather than letting it be curved, we're going to make it a straight line right there. Yeah, I don't know anything about any of those teams, Sebastian. Sorry, I can't talk about it more because I don't know anything about it. And then from the end here, what we're going to do is we're going to, instead of curving up like this, we're going to curve down and go down to the body. So at the end of our straight line, instead of following the curvature of this oval, we're going to curve down and go into the body. And so we can erase the bottom of that oval right there. And then here at the back of the oval, where the ear is, we're going to curve down for the other side of the neck. And then we're going to round it out toward the behind. Now it's sitting down. So this is the neck, dips down, and then curve around for the behind.
I did my crocodile.
Good job.
Look.
Let me see. Oh, that looks excellent. Way to go. So you got your big projects done today. Good job. Now we're going to come up here and we're going to add the capybara's nose. It's pretty big. It's a pretty big nose. So this is the point where these two lines come together. So we're going to slide up this top line just a little bit. And we're going to add a curved line right there. And then from
Like
the... Yes, ma'am, you got it. And from the end of this line, we're going to bring a little diagonal line back toward this vertical line. And then we'll bring a horizontal line over to connect it. So there's her little nose. Yeah, you did. Good job. Good job. I love how you get so proud when you accomplish something. Oh, you have so much more, you can do so much more than you realized, right, Allison? I love that. Yeah. So coming down from the nose, we're going to bring a straight vertical line down from this middle of the nose, and then we're going to bring over a big smile into the face. And we're going to erase the bottom of this oval shape. Get that out of there. And we're going to bring a little curve over to the side of the capybara's face.
Okay.
Right. Now down here, now they don't really have a tail to speak of, so we're not going to be adding a tail back here, but we are going to come inside of this curve right here, and we're going to bring another curve forward. This is for her hip right there. So this line essentially loops around and makes her hip. And coming out from the bottom right here, we're going to see a foot, and we're just going to do some little toes like this, like 3 little toes. Their feet might be a little webbed. I can't remember if they have webbed toes.
Mommy, I need a piece of paper.
I did it. So cute.
She is a darling. I love this little animal. And then we're going to come down this. We're going to bring this line down to the bottom, and we're going to put a little foot right here. And we're going to bring the leg up just a little bit. And we're almost done. This will be the last thing we do in our camp today. We're just about done. And we're going to bring another leg down coming off of this same line. This leg is going to come down a little further. And we're going to do the little toes right there. And then we're going to bring her leg back up this way. So this time the leg leans to the back. And then the last thing we have to do is we're going to draw her tummy. So right here, we're going to bring a line over to her hip, just like that. So it goes from the leg over to this curly line that makes her hip.
Like pelican.
And that's it. Now she is a little brown animal, and her feet and her nose, you could make them darker brown or black, and then a dark colored eye. And she's furry, so you could add some little bits of fur in here with some little jagged lines to make her look furry.
No, stop me.
And that's all there is to it.
Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, and then you can color her if you want. Well, that's because we were at the end of camp. We had about 10 minutes left, so I wanted to give us one last thing to do together. So I'm going to color in her little legs, making her feet a little darker than the rest of her body, and her nose a little bit darker. And then Sebastian, this can actually go in your sketchbook. It doesn't have to go on a separate sheet of paper if it's easier to keep your drawings together.
I like it somewhere where I can like keep it or something. So.
Okay. Remember, if we want to make our color darker, we press harder with our hand so that we're pushing down on our pencil tips a little bit harder. And then we can lighten up our pressure to make a lighter color, a lighter value, as we say.
Are we still recording?
Yes, we are. We should be.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know you can't really see my little foot, but I think you can see it.
Let me see. That looks perfect. Oh, very nice. Nice job, honey.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Well, that is it for today, you guys. Thank you so much for joining
I didn't
me.
get to color. I was putting away my stuff and everything.
That's okay,
And
bud.
and I couldn't find my pencil.
Oh, I understand. I'm so sorry.
But I had to use a pen and then I made a mistake and I couldn't erase
Oh,
it.
well, yeah, I understand. I understand. Pens, it's hard to fix a pen mistake, right?
Yeah, because like it's just that I couldn't find the pencil that you gave me.
Okay. I'm sorry. Do you want to take a little screenshot of him so you can draw him later?
Okay. Okay, let me try to see if I can take a picture with my iPad.
Yeah. Did you get him?
Can I ask you that?
Wait, let me see. Okay. Fingers in the
Okay. So you can work on that drawing, and you can also, if you, like I said, if you're bored later, you can work on your watercolor painting. Well, Allison, it was so nice to have you in camp with me this week. Thank you so much for joining us. I really enjoyed getting to know you. You have done such a great job on all of the projects too. Thanks for being with us.
paper.
All right, I'm going to go ahead, and if you guys, I'm not going to end the meeting because I've got to walk Nathan through the drawing, but if you guys want to go ahead and log off for me, that way I can keep right on recording. And I hope I'll see you again soon.
Bye.
All right, bye, honeys. All right. Okay. So Nathan, we're going to draw together. I'm sorry, I did not record in the beginning of class. I quite literally forgot, even though I have 2 notes. That's what happens when you get old. You forget things. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab a sheet of paper. Okay. You're going to want to do your drawing though on watercolor paper so that you can watercolor paint this picture when we're done. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right. I am back. All right. So let me share my screen. Today we drew a jaguar and we included a waterfall. And so this is what the picture ends up looking something like this. Of course, we make our own kinds of trees, but let's start with the drawing. Start the drawing with a horizon line at the top for the top of the waterfall. We're not going to go all the way to the top of the paper. We're just going to leave a little inch or two, and we're going to draw a horizontal line going from side to side. But because you're drawing on watercolor paper, remember you're pressing lightly, okay, so that you're not pushing down really hard. And I'm going to go kind of fast because you're able to pause and rewind as you need to, okay? So our waterfall goes in the middle, and we're going to bring the sides of the waterfall down, and we want to make them look a bit irregular, a little bit organic, like they're made of rocks. So our lines are not smooth. Now I'm not going to start right in the center. I'm going to start to the left of center. And I'm just going to bring a line coming down into my paper, but not all the way to the bottom. Okay, because we need some land down here on the bottom as well. So these 2 lines, now here's my center point. I'm going to come to the right side and do the same kind of jaggedy, kind of irregular, organic looking line, but I'm going to stop so that these 2 lines are even. And across here, I'm adding another horizontal line at the bottom of my waterfall. And a lot of these lines are going to end up getting covered up by our jaguar, by our trees and such. Now we're going to be adding some water and some water foam here at the base of the waterfall where it meets the river. But let's put the river in here next. So we're going to make a wavy line that comes to the front of our paper. We'll do the same thing on this side, and these lines should get a little wider apart in the foreground. So they're just a little bit. You don't want to make the whole thing river because we need land. Okay, so just a little bit wider at the bottom. Now to make the falling water, we're going to use wavy lines. So we're going to come off of the left side of our waterfall and we're going to make wavy lines like this. Some are tall, some are short, and the waves and the line are close together. And it looks like dripping goo, really, because we're trying to make it look like the water is falling down this cliff, the face of this mountain. And we're going to do another one of these. There's no specific way this needs to be done. Okay. But inside of each of these shapes, we're also going to add some vertical lines to really make it look like this water is moving. Like it's dropping down, and we're going to go inside of each of these 3 sections. We made 2 wavy lines, but it created 3 sections. You'll notice that some of my lines are short, some of my lines are long. I'm varying those lengths so that it looks a little bit more irregular. And at the bottom here, we're going to see some water crashing. So we're going to use a bumpy line, kind of like we did for whenever we were drawing bushes this week, we use this bumpy line, big bumps, little bumps. And then inside of the shape that we just made, we have to erase everything from inside of there. Okay. And now we're going to bring just a few wavy lines coming from the waterfall into the river. That. And over here is where we're going to put our jaguar. To begin our jaguar, what we did is we started with a circle for her hind end. And I'm going to draw a guideline to show where I want the bottom of her body to be. So it's a horizontal line that's perpendicular to the bottom of this circle. Okay. And just like with the rhinoceros, how we did 2 circles, we're going to do 2 shapes here, but the second shape in this jaguar is going to be an oval. The oval is going to be more narrow, so not as wide as this circle, not as wide. Okay, and I'm going to leave a little space. And this oval also, it's going to kind of lean a little bit to the right. It's a little bit taller. It's a little bit more narrow. I'm leaning it just a little bit toward the right, and there's a small space in between. So it's taller than my circle. It's more narrow than my circle. It leans a little bit. Now, I'm going to make a hard line. Well, you're going to press gently, but this is the line we're keeping. Up and over the circle for the hind end, we're going to dip down in the middle for the back, and then up the side of this oval for her neck. And then we're going to bring this line over here. This line right here is going to curve around to the ground. Now we're going to come inside of this circle, and we're going to bring a curved line forward. This is her knee, because she is laying down. So this is her knee, and we're going to bring it back down to the bottom of the circle. So we're curving in and down. Now we're only about halfway up the circle. So this shape is in the middle. This curved line starts in the middle of the circle and then down to the bottom. And from here, we're going to bring a straight line forward. This is for the bottom part of her leg, and then a bump at the end for her paw. And from here, we're going to bring our line along the ground. This guideline that we drew, this is the ground. So the bottom of the leg comes back to the bottom of our circle here, and then we're going to bend back inside of that shape. We are going to add some toes in her paw just by bringing some curved lines inside of there like that. Now we're going to add the front leg. So we're going to just in front of this line right here, we're going to come up inside of the oval, even with the knee, and we're going to bring an arm down to the bottom of the oval. This is her elbow, and then we're going to reach her paw out in front. We're going to come back in here and turn this into a shape. This time we're going to curve this line a little bit and then reach it out and make it wider at the end for her paw. And then add these little curved lines to separate her toes. This line right here becomes her chest, so we're definitely keeping that line, but we're going to add another paw right here. So we're going to come down with a diagonal line. We're going to reach her paw out in front of her and then widen it at the end for her paw and bring it back. Oh, don't think I went wide enough there. Widen it for her paw. And then add those little curved lines for her toes. Now, I'm not loving how her arm is reaching out into my river, so I'm going to change the path of the river here so that it is not bumping into her arm like that. Rather than trying to scrunch up her arm or leave it hanging over the water's edge or having to redo her whole body, I'm just moving this one edge of the river so that I can fit her arm in there. Now I've got the all of these pieces on the bottom in place. I'm going to erase these original shapes that I made from the inside of all of my jaguar body. All of this can go, the oval and the circle. Even this line across the bottom. Now there is a space here between the back paw and the front elbow. We need to put a little line in there for her belly so that it makes sense that it's going up into her neck. And before we add the head, let's bring her tail around a curved line all the way up here to her paws. And their tails are pretty narrow, thin tails all the way back to her body. And then we're going to add her head. So this line right here for her neck, we're going to curve it up and around and we're going to make a circle shape. And we're going to add an ear. So from this line, if I go up to the top of the head here, I'm going to curve a line back for the back side of the ear and forward for the front side of the ear. And now I can erase inside of her ear and I can erase this front oval and this horizon line cutting through here. I'm recording the drawing for Nathan because I forgot to record it earlier, and I'll be done in a few minutes. Yeah, you can go back over there. Okay, and so the other ear goes over here. We're going to curve it up and down. And then we want to add that little slender curve inside of here that separates the outside of the ear from the inside of the ears. Now we're going to add her nose kind of right here in the middle. We're going to add a little triangle shape right there. And before we add her mouth, we want to change this bottom curved line just a little bit. We want to give her a chin like we did for our tigers. So I'm bringing a little curved line down and over to the side of her face like that. And I want to erase that circle shape that I made in the beginning so that this is now the shape that I'm looking at right here for her face. So this is her jawline, this is her chin. And now we can make her mouth coming down from the bottom of her nose, and we're going to curve to the right, come down and curve to the left. We can give her some little whiskers right here. And if we come up from the bridge of this nose and curve around, this is where one of her eyes goes, right under there like that. And we follow the bridge of this side up and over, the other eye goes under here. And then of course we want to create the colorful part of her eye with some curved lines. Give her some pupils, have her look wherever you want her looking. Be sure that her chest comes up and attaches to complete her neck. And then jaguars have these really fun spots that just go wherever you want to put them around her body. Now, typically, I don't think that they're on the belly. So I'm drawing a line right there to show you this is the belly down here. And they're usually not on the chest, this area here. But in smaller parts of the body, the spots will be smaller. In bigger parts of the body, the spots are bigger. And you can make them whatever kind of shape you want and put them wherever you want them to go. But they do even come down here on the tail. And sometimes these spots have spots inside of them as well. Sometimes they double up, sometimes they triple up. It's just fur color. So however you want to design her spots, you be as creative as you want to be. If you want to just keep them simple, do that. If you want to layer the spots so that they look more full and colorful, you can do that too. That's your choice. And that is all there is to our Lady Jaguar, or she could be a boy, it's up to you. Now, the final thing that we did is we added some trees, of course, and you can make your trees however you want. So we did a palm tree over here, and you already know how to draw palm trees. Remember, palm trees, tree trunks, they're fairly narrow. You can make them straight, you can lean them. That happens with palm trees. Sometimes they lean to the side, and then what do we usually do? 3 coconuts at the top, right? So we can end that tree trunk without making a hard line across the top. We added some little rings to our tree trunk, as palm trees often have. We added our palm fronds, and we used the shape technique with the wavy line going down and back. And we did that to all of these. Remember, you have to erase inside of these shapes when they overlap things. And also know that your palm fronds can overlap each other. So don't feel the need to space them out where they're not where there's no overlapping. They can bump right into each other. But I do need to get the top of the mountain out from inside of them. And then we did some traditional tree shapes. We did some more of those bushes that we've been doing, that shape of bushes in the background that comes up and bumps across, tells us that this area is full of plant life. And then we added some plants here on the ground too. We created some big leaf shapes. So we were filling in some of this front ground as well, the foreground area. And you can make these leaves look however you want. You could do big ferns or big plants, however you want to fill in this space. You could add smaller bushes here by the river. You could double up bushes in here. So you've got your big shape. You could do smaller shapes. You could add different kinds of plants over here. I could come in here and add a fern too, fill in some of this space. So let your imagination be your guide as far as how you want to fill in all of this vegetation, but do add a lot of vegetation because remember, we're in the jungle. And then over here we did a couple of different kinds of trees. We did some narrow branches to make like a jungle kind of tree, and we did 3 branches coming off of there, and we did another one here. And then across the bottom, we did like a horizontal line of bumps for the foliage clusters. And then we went a little higher on the tops to make this interesting kind of tree. And this one is going to overlap. And it's even going to overlap my river a little bit. So I have to erase. I'm going to let it be in front of the river because that looks cool. And then I ran a tall tree trunk up behind all of this and did another tree back here. I'm going to imagine it's going right up there. However you want those things to overlap. You can reach a big old branch off to the side. Do the big tops of your trees can go right off the edge of your paper. There's no right or wrong way to do this. However you want your trees to look in your picture, but you should always erase anything that they overlap from the inside of them. And then there you have it. You could add things to your sky, some clouds, of course. You know, we usually do some clouds in our sky, creating unity with these same bumpy shapes. You could put the sun in the sky. Hey, you're copying me. I can hear you saying that. All right. Well, there you have it. All right. Remember, you can pause, rewind, whatever you need to in order to follow these step-by-step instructions. But as always, add your own flair. You got an idea? Put it in there. And then we watercolor painted it, which you can now zip back in through this video and catch the instructions for watercolor painting. But I know you already know how to watercolor paint. All right, Nathan, thank you so much.